Hi everybody, this is Debbie from the Inspiration Station. Thank you for joining me today. Today I decided to be a little brave and get out from behind the camera so that I could talk to you about something a little bit different. Today's video will not be a process video or a layout share. I'm getting ready to go to the very first crop away from home that I have gone to in a number of years. I am not prepared. I have a very fully stocked craft room, and so I have everything I need to work on my layouts here at home. So I haven't been attending any crops, but I have a friend who is putting on an event. It's a small event, but it's the first time I've gone away, and I want to be as productive as possible. I know that I probably won't be because I'll end up chatting probably more than working, but I thought I would put together a video and take you along with me as I pack and plan out what I need to take with me. And hopefully that will give you some ideas for yourself, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you do like this kind of content, please leave a comment below. I appreciate that. And I will be getting started in just a minute. Okay, so the very first thing that I have done to plan for this crop is to create a packing list. Now, most of it is a general type of packing list. I did add in here project-specific items for things that I plan to work on. So these may not apply to you. You probably will have different things that you would pack for your crop, but I figured I would share it with you so that you could maybe make your own list and be a little bit more prepared the next time you go somewhere. So, of course, we always know we have to have a basic kit, and our basic kit is going to include our scissors, our trimmer with spare blades because you don't want to be away from home and have the blades go dull on you. Your adhesive, and that includes wet and dry adhesive. So if you use tape runner, if you use an ATG, if you use like a score tape, double-sided tape type of thing, you want to have those and their refills, but you also should plan on having some wet adhesive, something like art glitter glue, the Artiste craft glue, Barely art glue, whatever it is that you use, because you'll find that there's certain things, particularly like chipboard embellishments, that don't always stick really well to your layout, and you will need a wet adhesive for that. Always have a pencil and eraser with you, because whether you're doing journaling on your page, or in my case, I will probably be doing some mosaic moments type pages, and I use a template for that. It's just good to have a pencil so you can mark anything off. Of course, foam tape or foam squares or circles, whatever it is that you use. I like to pack wet wipes because you never know when you're going to get ink on your fingers and have to clean things up, or clean up your work surface. Sometimes you're blending ink on the edges and you might get a smudge on the mat and you need to clean that up. And you will need a craft mat. Now, I won't have this nice big one because it's just too bulky to carry, but I do have a Ranger nonstick craft mat, and I also have the scrapbook.com. I don't see where it is here at the moment. I think it's already packed, but I'm going to pull some things out of my bag. Scrapbook.com, it's like a silicone mat, and it's great for blending and, if I'm going to do some splattering or whatever. I'm going to be bringing my stitching supplies because I will probably do some stitching on my layouts, and that includes my piercing mat and my pokey tool. You should always have a ruler with you so that you can measure or keep things straight. Preferably a T-square is what I would like to have. A case for my finished pages. I need something to put them in to protect them when I bring them home, so I usually use an iris case. And then some sort of pop-up wastebasket if you have it. Most of the crops, they tape little trash bags to the table. I never find those to be particularly helpful. They're either not in the right position or they just don't lay right, and they're just more of a hassle. So I do have a little pop-up wastebasket, which I will go through and show when I get to the packing part. Some of the extra tools that I plan on bringing. Now, the crop that I'm going to, the organizer is going to have Cricut machines and die cut machines like the Big Shot available. So I don't need to bring any of the big machines, I don't think. But I am going to bring my Epson photo printer. It's pretty small. It's compact, so I can bring that along with photo paper. These may stay in the car. One of the things I forgot to mention is I'm going to be commuting to this crop. It's being held at a local hotel, but it's close enough for me. It's only about a 15-minute drive, so I'm saving the money from staying at the hotel and just coming home at night. So some things I will be leaving in my car, and if I need them, I can run out and get them. But in order to use the Cricut machine at the crop, I will need my own Cricut mat. Now, I put cutting machine on here, even though she said she would have a die cutting machine. I have a small Sizzix Sidekick type die cutter that's good to leave on the table. So I'm going to pack that because sometimes you just need like maybe a little label or some hearts or something with a small die, and you don't want to get up and go find the big machine and all that, just to have something at the table. I also need to bring a power cord with USB outlets. And this is important because I want to keep my phone charged. I do use my phone for printing my photos and things like that, so that needs to be handy, and I need to be able to keep it charged. An OttLite, I actually have battery-operated OttLites because when I had gone on the crop cruise several years ago, we didn't have access to power outlets. So I ended up buying the battery-operated OttLite. But I also need to remember to bring spare batteries because you just never know when those are going to give out on you. I have a metal shelf that I will bring, and that helps to keep everything up off the work surface, give me a little bit more space. Some Post-it notes for various things, making notes about journaling that I need to do when I get home, or photos I may need to find. And then this was a really great suggestion someone had on, I don't know if it was Pinterest or somebody's blog. I wish I could give credit for it, but she suggested those moving sliders. Sometimes they're called moving men. They're usually round silicone type, I don't know what you would call them, silicone pads, and on the backside is usually like a squishy foam, and you put them under heavy furniture, under the corners of heavy furniture to slide along the floor easily. And she suggested bringing those for the hotel chair because the chairs don't move, and sometimes that can be really annoying. So I've never done it, but I think it might be a good idea. So I have some out in my garage. I'm going to go get those and pack them and see how it works. You never know. Okay, then we're going to get to our personal items, and I think I had a bag started. Yeah, so I have these old studio calico bags. So I have a few things in here that I will probably need. And of course I'm going to have my phone. I need to have charging cables, and this is one that has 3 ends to it so that I can do lightning cable, I can do C, and I think this one is an A. It's not one I ever use, but it's got 3 different ones on it, and the brick to charge things. So I'll have those available. The next thing is my iPad. I don't have that down here with me, but it will go in. A water bottle or Stanley type cup, whatever you use, something that you can keep sealed up so that it doesn't spill. A sweater, because I have no idea what the temperature is going to be in the room. I'm usually pretty hot. It's that time of my life where I have my own private summers, so I most likely won't need it. I will probably need this next item, the fan, probably more often, but you just don't know what the temperature is going to be. So I'm bringing both. A pair of slippers because I want to be comfortable and I don't need to wear my shoes. Chapstick, always important. Tissues, always need those. My spare readers. I wear bifocals generally, but when I'm cropping, it's kind of a hassle to have the bifocals. So I like to have a spare pair of readers, so I have those. And lens wipes, really important for me because I tend to get my fingerprints all over my glasses, so I have those. And I have my spare batteries for my OttLite. I use some washi tape to hold them together because in the past I put them in a plastic container kind of loose, and apparently if you store batteries like that, they can like touch their ends together and it causes them to be damaged. I found some in a plastic photo case that I had packed, and they were all corroded at the ends because they had somehow managed to work themselves into the wrong direction. So this time I washi tape them together to keep them together. So those are my personal items that I have planned. In the car, I'm going to have a cooler with soda, water bottles, and a small table because I don't know if that table will be allowed or not, but I want to bring it, and if it is, I'll bring it in. Cooler and soda because most hotels don't allow you to bring in outside food or drink. I'm not sure what the rules are at this particular hotel, but I am a Pepsi drinker, and most hotels that I have been at, other than in Las Vegas, I think, usually are Coke properties. So if you go to their vending machines, you only get Coke products, and I want to have my Pepsi available. So I'm going to have that. Also, extra water bottles. They will have pitchers of water available for refilling your cups and things. But sometimes the water tastes different when you're at a new location. So I will be bringing my own water bottles. Then we get into the project specific items, and I'm going to actually stop the camera right now so I can grab that package of things so you can see what those are. So hold on one moment. Okay. So I did also bring up my containers with my supplies in them so I can show you how those are packed. But I did want to show you the projects first. So what I've done is planned out, I think I have 4 projects here, and I still have a couple of days to plan a few more, which I may or may not do. I'm trying to be realistic about how much I can get done in the weekend. I tend to be a very slow scrapper. If you've watched any of my process videos, you know I've said often that I make changes constantly while I'm working. So sometimes it takes a long time to get a page done. Then you add in the fact that there's going to be friends there and you're going to chat. So I think for a 2-day crop, for myself, probably 4 or 5 projects is, yeah, I think that's probably realistic. I will pack a couple of extras maybe just in case I get very productive, but I also don't want to overpack. So this is what I've done. I have these folders. I believe they're from Samsil. I can put a link to them below to Amazon. And I've chosen a sketch. I have chosen the paper. So this was a 6x8 paper pad, but I don't need the whole paper pad. I looked at what I need for the sizes for this sketch, and I will only need like the 4x6 size of however many patterns. I think there's 6 or 8 patterns here. Then I went and matched up cardstock to all of these. I kind of use this paper as my basis. I have a few extra sheets of white, but then I picked out some orange and blue and green that will coordinate. So this is one packet, one project. The next one that I have here is, it's an Allison Davis design, and this is what I'm using. This is my inspiration. She had this page, and I loved it, and I actually had this 6x6 pad with the same pattern sheet that she used. So I have cut out, this is one of her cut files, and I've cut this out in 2 different sizes. Well, no, not 2. I think I did the same size, but I did one in black and one in craft. I think I'm going to end up using the craft color, but I'm not sure. We'll see. And then I also had a cut file for the clouds. Oh, and I did pre-cut all of my angle pieces. I used the pieces that fell out of here as a template, and I pre-cut the pattern paper. So this one should go together pretty quickly. The only thing I don't have are the photos, and I still have to figure out what I'm going to do for those. But the page itself is ready to go, and I should be able to get that one completed pretty quickly. Then this is one that I had packed up a long time ago for my grandson's 2nd birthday. He's now 3. These are the photos. I had picked out a bunch of Echo Park paper and stickers that go along with it, and anything else that I found train themed, because that was the theme of his birthday. These are also some pictures where he had gone to meet Thomas the Train. So we've got the birthday photos are one layout, Thomas the Train another. So it's kind of combined here, but that is a plan. That may be 2 pages or 2 spreads. And then this last one is some of the stuff that I got at the Simple Stories Creative Retreat last fall, and I didn't know how I was going to use it. It's very, very colorful. Oops. It's a very colorful line, and it's all about crafting, basically scrapbooking, but there are some other crafts on here. And I don't usually make scrapbook pages about that, but I had gone to a retreat in Las Vegas with Country Craft Creations back in 2018, and I have never scrapped that. So that's my plan for these. And I checked to make sure that I had enough of these letters to make my title, and I do. I have all the embellishments in here. I don't know which ones I'll use. Have my photos pre-printed, and this is just kind of a rough sketch of something that I may want to do as far as the layout, but I don't know for sure. So those are my projects that I have planned. Wish me luck. I don't know how well that's going to go. Like I said, there may be a couple of more projects that I pull together. I have my niece's first communion. I have started to print the photos for that. I haven't chosen papers or anything, so this may or may not get included in the weekend. So I wanted to show you how I do pack some of my supplies. And this is what I'm using for my toolkit. I have a couple of toolkits that are, they're like cases that zip up, and they have nice foam that holds all the pieces in place nice and neat, but they're bulky. And so I just decided that I would do just a pencil case instead. So I have my most used tools in here. I've got my scissors, my tweezers, I've got a craft knife, a journaling pen, a pokey tool, a mechanical pencil in here, a regular pen. So everything basic is right there. Then on the inside of the middle here, I have a small adhesive, 1 extra blade. I found 2 more blades. Those are already packed in the big tote. I don't know if I have anything on this side. I don't remember if I put anything. Oh yeah, just my eraser. So there's pockets here that I can put more things in. And this seems to be a much more compact way of carrying all those things. So I'll be bringing that. I talked about doing stitching on my pages, and I keep this little, I think it's maybe a 5x5 case. It's an iris case. It came in a set, and I have several types of embroidery floss. I have some baker's twine in several colors, a package of needles. I have, of course, my little strawberry that holds my needles so I don't lose them. The most important thing for my stitching is this needle threader, because I am half blind and cannot load those needles. I just can't. I don't know. I need these. And then this is just a pair of little snips, which work great for the thread. And in the bottom, I put a very small, a very thin magnet sheet. It's like the type you would put on a refrigerator magnet. And I just stuck it in there, kind of taped it in, and that keeps my needles, if I drop them in here, they fall off here, and also my threader keeps it from getting lost. So that's my little stitching kit, which should be plenty for the weekend. This is how I carry my adhesives. Now, I will not be bringing my giant ATG because I have a ton of refills for these things. So scrapbook adhesives are great products. I love them. I use them all the time. And I have their band runner, which is what I usually use at home. But again, it's pretty bulky. And when I had my store, we had bought a class pack of the dispensers that are refillable. And so I have like 12 of those. And I just bought the refills. So I've got the refills. I've got repositionable because if I do a mosaic page, I need the repositionable with a refill. I also threw in my wet glue, which is my little Hero Arts precision glue. So this should be plenty for the weekend. And then my dies. Now this is heavy because it's very full, but it has, I think, all of what I'm going to need for the weekend. So I have it labeled basics. That's how I have it stored at home. I want to do something possibly with a Polaroid frame. And originally I thought I might use these clouds on that starburst or sunburst page that I had, but I ended up cutting them on the Cricut, but I'm bringing them anyway because I might want them. Then I have some basic squares and decorative squares, same with the circles. I have hexagons, got some stitched dies, circles, and tags. This is the Elizabeth Craft assorted tags. There's actually a lot in here. There's 2 full magnets full of stuff. So there's a lot of tags in there. And then this is a Pink Fresh set. And then for hearts, I have these. Oh, and a small set from Spellbinders of just some odds and ends. We've got some fruit and leaves and flowers. It was small enough that I thought it's a good assortment if I ended up needing it. So these are my basics. I think that will cover most things. The only thing I don't have is foliage, but I don't foresee needing them. I don't have any plans for pages that require flowers or foliage, so I'm not too worried about that. But they're nice and compact in this case. They're on magnets, good to go. Okay, so I'm sitting on the floor right now, and I have 2 of my travel bags here ready to go. So for this tote, this is my table setup tote. I prefer to use this giant guillotine trimmer for cutting everything. But it is bulky, it takes up a lot of room, so this is probably going to stay under the table. But I want to have it with me. I prefer it. This is the shelf I was talking about. It's a metal closet type shelf. Sorry, I make all that noise and move things around. It's sort of like a shoe rack you would put in your closet, but you can put that on the table and it lifts everything up, gives you a shelf to put things on, gives you some more room. This is just a dollar store condiment tray. I use this to throw my embellishments, my ephemera and things in as I'm working. I have this little stand-up, move that out of the way. It's hard to do with one hand. This is just a stand-up file, and it's a good place to put either your envelopes of photos or ephemera, whatever it is that you have. This just fell over on me. Let's see if I can get it back up. One-handed. Okay, put that in. And then these are just some extras here. So my battery-operated light. And this is from Tonic. It's a trash can and also the drink holder that clamps onto your table. I'm trying to get that in. There we go. And I have it stuffed with some microfiber cloths so that I just have those available. So that is going to go on the table. So I have my drink and my garbage there. Okay. And I will pack those more neatly when I'm not filming. Then we come over here to my pink tote. And this is where I will be putting the majority of my things. So I do have my Cricut mat. Sorry. Cricut mat, a 12 by 12 cutting mat. Oops, look, here's another project that I have packed. Actually, it looks like there's 2 of them here. Yep, there's 2 more projects in there. My OmniGrid ruler. What is this? A small cutting pad in case I just need something small. My slide trimmer in case I need to gut paper. I have, this is a stamping mat on one side and piercing mat on the other. That's for my stitching. I have, what's this? Oh, these are a couple of 6x8 pads that I have that are kind of basic neutrals, things that I may want to use. Rather than taking a lot of extra pattern paper, I'm just going to bring those. Then this bag, very big bag, has my close to my heart T-square ruler and a metal ruler in it. So I have 2 of those. And then down in the bottom here we have the wet wipes, actually 2 small containers of those. This is my bag. I can't talk now. My little photo holder that I keep all of my foam squares and stuff in. This was a trick that I saw from Christine Harden on YouTube, and it works perfectly. So when you're looking for different types of adhesive, it's all right here, and I have them labeled, whether they're the thin ones or the regular ones. And I've got some real tiny ones, and I've got the strips. So those are right here. They go into the pocket, and we're all set with those. So let's put in my big stuff. So this tote can go in. I just move a couple of things out of the way. I'm squishing them. There we go. This over here. Then we've got the box of adhesive, the stitching supplies, the dies, my basic tools, and I still have plenty of room here. Oh, the projects are still up on the desk, but they're going to go back here with the others. I've got a clear mat in case I need it, and then of course more stuff. There's lots of pockets on this, and I'm not going to go through them all because most of them don't have anything important in them. A couple of more odds and ends, paper that I may use, my post-it notes, some bling. So there we go. And that'll get it closed up. And more stuff over here. Actually, the sides are empty. I have plenty of room to pack more stuff. But again, I don't want to pack too much. I'm only going for 2 days. I'm not staying over, so I don't need that much stuff. Okay, I'm back to the desk. Hopefully I did not make you motion sick by moving the camera around so much. Everything's back on the tripod. We're moving back to my list here. So I did go over some of the project specific things that I'm bringing. I have my printed photos. I have the page kits that I've created. I have my mosaic template. I do not have the dies packed yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with those yet. We'll see. I actually think I have one of them packed that I had borrowed from a friend. And then tag dies, because one of the sketches that I plan to use uses tags. So that's it. That's all I need to bring because it's all pre-packed. And I think that's the most important thing for success when you go to a crop. If you actually want to get things done, you need to pre-plan. So I have printed up this list. I'm going to post that over on my blog. If you'd like to get a copy of it, you'll be able to download it there. Just it'll be a photo and you can just save the photo. I have not updated my blog in forever, but I will go and actually, I have written a blog post to go with this list, sort of a breakdown of what to bring. And I hope that you'll go over there and check it out. I will have it linked below. Also below will be some Amazon links for things, or affiliate links. So if you choose to use them, I get a small commission. It costs you nothing extra, and I do appreciate anyone using those links. But those are for some of the things that I use often. Those will be there, like the photo printer, the photo paper, some of the adhesives that I use, that sort of thing. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know, do you attend crops away from home? Is that something that you like to do? Or have you never done it and just would like to try it for the first time? I'm always interested to hear how people do their scrapbooking. I know there's some people that only scrapbook when they go to retreats, and there's other people who've never been to a retreat or a crop ever. So I would like you to let me know. Tell me down in the comments below how you crop or how you scrapbook. In the meantime, I'm going to finish packing up things, go find whatever might be missing from here, and get the blog post up, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for joining me today.